Hello and welcome back to Wrestlecast. I'm here with friend of the show and regular contributor DrayZera. DrayZera, thank you for coming. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I am feeling pumped. I am ready to talk about AEW Revolution. Like, what a show we have in store.
Exactly, 100%. And we can go fully gonzo with this, no lube, no foreplay necessary. Let's start right with the prelims. Thunder Rosa and Riho versus Dr. Britt Baker and Reba. The caveat being
Reba,
that
not Rebel.
Reba Rebel has hurt her leg, apparently, and Britt Baker could replace her with anyone of her choosing if she can't compete. But who have you got for this one?
I think it makes sense for Thunder Rosa and Riho to win because I think that the thing is with Britt Baker is that she is naturally going over based on her character alone. I feel Thunder Rosa and Riho, especially Riho needs more. Riho especially needs to win more because Thunder Rosa, she's doing her thing. She's a great. They're all great wrestlers. I mean, even though Reba hasn't really been wrestling, to be fair, on this company, but I would say that Thunder Rosa and Riho need the win more, even though that all of them really got eliminated, like in the women's eliminated tournament. So I guess you can make an argument they all need to win, but I'd say I'd want Thunder Rosa and Riho to win this because it builds more heat. They can take the feud further. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. I'm thinking like when Dr. Britt Baker lost to Big Swole in the tooth and nail match, and it didn't really dent her. And I think she's one of the only over character wrestlers, women's wrestler that AEW have at the moment. Like you completely hit the nail on the head. Thunder Rosa looks great, but need a bit more personality about her maybe. Riho definitely the same, even though she's a former champ. Reba, I just think's funny as fuck, but I'm edging towards a Thunder Rosa and Riho. That seems the most. I think they might need it more. I know it's only a prelim, and it seems like a typical babyface going over in the prelim kind of match,
Yeah.
Or buy-in as we call it. But we're in agreement with there.
Absolutely. I feel to be fair, this show is fully stacked, and I feel that, like, to be fair, they're all out of the women's tournament. So sorry, but not enough room.
Yeah, I think, and people were saying if Reba doesn't go in, a few people could replace her, and someone was saying Zelina Vega, and I was like, no, they're not going to put Zelina Vega on the buy-in for a pay-per-view. There's just no way.
Or Thea Trinidad, whatever name she wants to go by. But yeah, I doubt it. It. I mean, there is a slim chance that they could add someone new just to add hype factor, but I don't think there's any real point, really. I just think, no, I mean, one person that would be very interesting or intriguing could be Jade Cargill, maybe. But if Jade Cargill's in it, then Jade Cargill's team's going to win 100%.
Yeah, I think so.
They built her strong. They built her strong in the Shaq match this week.
If I'm honest, I skipped the Shaq match. I was just like, I wanted no part of it. But I saw Shaq.
Bro, it was a much better match than it deserves to be, man. It was a great match.
So it's actually worth my time to go back.
It's actually worth your time. It's actually very, very good. It was actually very, very entertaining. And to be perfectly honest, without much spoilers, I would actually say that Velvet and Jade actually did a lot of the match.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, they probably over delivered, and it was definitely a publicity match. So I think people could just take it with a pinch of salt. But pretty straightforward first one, but there's a bit more variety in the next one. It seems now the only way they decide the number one contenders in the tag division is through a massive, just chucking them all at each other for a battle royal. And that's a thing again for the second.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, like, didn't they have a tag team battle royal a few weeks ago, like 3-4 weeks ago.
Wasn't there one wasn't there one at Beach Break that decided?
That was the one I was referring to, because that was the one where Jericho and MJF won when one member of Top Flight was in the last two with Jericho. And what was most mad was that even though we'll go on this later, when Jericho MJF said, right, whoever wins this 6-way between us will be the Inner Circle tag team to go for the titles, and then Santana and Ortiz got a title shot. What's going on? But regardless, I'm not really too bothered. Because I mean, there's a few there are holes in this, but at least it's better than World Rubbish Entertainment, some other company. Anyway.
Yeah, well, it is a better booked tag division than
definitely
WWE.
I mean, they have a tag division to start off with.
Yeah, there's more than 4 teams in this. Like, I don't think, and I'm not even being sarcastic, I don't think even if they included the NXT teams, they'd be able to do a battle royal this big. I'm not even being sarky.
Yeah. No worries. And 100%. And yeah, what do you think? Yeah, who do you think is going to win the tag team battle royal?
I'm almost certain it's going to be Santana and Ortiz. And I know it should be harder to choose, but I just think it makes the most sense. They've got a history with both the Bucks and some stuff with the Inner Circle. So if Young Bucks win, they can feud with them again. That can cause some more stuff with the Inner Circle. And especially if MJF and Jericho win, that can be a bit, that can speed dial. I think depending on who wins the tag, if Santana and Ortiz win, whoever wins the tag, I think that demonstrates how much longer they're going to keep the Inner Circle going. Because if they put them straight into a title program against MJF and Chris Jericho like that, the faction implosion is imminent. But if it's the Bucks or anyone else,
there's 2 dark horses, I'd say. Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn. I'm just looking at the teams, and Death Triangle.
Yeah, those are certainly ones. I think because
there's 3 Dark Order teams as well.
Yeah, that's those are certainly possibilities. I'll propose a question in a second, but if you had to pick one team, who is your favourite to win it, and then we can maybe go through the other teams for a bit more.
Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn. I think that Matt Hardy's gimmick of being a crooked, big ass crook manager, I think it's so funny. I think it's hella funny. And literally earlier in the Dynamite this week, when literally Jack Evans attacked Preston Vance, aka Dark Order 10. For $4,200, yes.
In a massive neon pay slip. That was beautiful.
I know. It's incredible. It's even
Broken Matt
Jack
Hardy,
Evans tights, yes.
Broken Matt Hardy will go into a bit more, but what I will say, it has grown on me. And yeah, Private Party are definitely a good shout, because that would really continue their relationship with their kind of agent manager, Sponge, Big Money Matt, and they're kind of prickish heels now, and it works. Like they can do both. I really see a lot of promise in that team. You know,
absolutely.
They're like if you booked Street Profits from WWE, well, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm referring to obviously consistency between their gimmick rather than any stereotypical comparison, obviously.
Exactly. You're right, and yeah, absolutely. So, shall we quickly? I mean, it's very interesting. Look at these scenes, because so I've got the list here. Bear Country. They've actually got a lot of momentum in AEW Dark, which is cool. It just shows you. Looking at this, there's 12, 13, 14, like there's well over 10 tag teams. This is incredible.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? So if I were to say on a scale of 1 to 3, 3 being contenders, 2 being dark horses, and 1 being no chance. I'm just going to read them out to you and get your impressions. Bear Country.
What in terms of their chances?
Chances of winning.
Nah, too soon for them.
Yeah, I think they'll get some spots in, but they've got to hold a 1 for me for now. But I like them a lot.
Yeah, they are. They've got some great potential. We've also got Alex Reynolds and John Silver of the Dark Order. I'm like, yeah, they're also dark horses too, in a sense, because they are feuding also with Big Money Matt.
Yeah.
They're dark horses, but if you're going to rate out of 10, I'd rate a 5.
Yeah, I think 3. They're probably like a dark horse. I'd put them in 2. Yeah, and the same with all of the Dark Order, the other teams, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, and I think it's going to be they're a dark horse as well. I don't think they're going to Alan Angels and Preston Van and 10, Preston 5 and 10. I don't think are going to go anywhere.
No, they're also there, and also we've got Stu Grayson and Evil Uno as well. Again, it's very, very fascinating because when the Dark Order began, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno were the main guys, but now even Alan Angels and Preston Vance, they're the main guys. They're more main guys than Evil Uno, Stu Grayson. I don't know if it's the fact that they don't wrestle much or the fact that John Silver is just such a captivating guy.
Yeah, John Silver's definitely the guy in the Dark Order at the moment.
Absolutely. But of course, the question is, which will go on later in the big money match. I'll ask you a question about that later, about who is the man. But yeah, looking at the rest, I mean, Butcher and the Blade, nah.
No.
Top Flight, nah. We talked about Pac and Ray Phoenix. I think
they're contenders for me.
They are contenders.
Varsity Blondes, nah.
No. Matt
Sydal Brothers, no. SoCal Uncensored, maybe.
I just don't see it. I don't know.
They have more chance than like Varsity Blonde or Sydal Brother, but I don't think they'll win it. What about the Natural Nightmares?
No.
No way.
Chaos Project? No. Oh my God, the Gun Club is not even going to be Billy Gunn. It's Austin and Colton Gunn. Absolutely not. No.
Way. And yeah, that's about it. So most likely going to be either Santana and Ortiz or Private Party. That was pretty straightforward, to be honest. Yeah. All right, next we've got Miro and a man you've shared a pizza with, Kip Sabian, versus Chuck.
Yes.
Sexy Chucky T and Orange Cassidy. Knocking my absolute guy.
Here's a random note as well. Kip Sabian is born and grew up in the same town, Galston, Norfolk, England, as my co-host in the DrayZera Uncensored podcast, Jackie Hyde.
Yeah, that's an interesting bit of trivia. We know people. We know things, don't we?
We know shit. Yeah. But yeah, this match is quite the fact that this match all began through knocking over their arcade machine, this has definitely had more layers. I think this is actually hard to call, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know who's actually going to win this. What do you think, Aaron?
I'm kind of booking a bit hopefully because I think Miro's sort of so much more, can do so much more. And I think, if they lost, it'd be the catalyst for Miro doing his own thing and actually maybe getting one of the belts or something, which he definitely deserves. I just love Miro so much. And the kind of storyline's just not been the most compelling in the world. It's had some funny bits, like when Orange Cassidy challenged them for the match by handing them a note in an interview. Charles the Butler was very funny. It got better. It grew on me, to be fair. But I just think Miro's like look at him. He's fucking jacked. He's good. He's great in the ring. He can talk. He's a main event guy for me. And
he is. And I think they're doing a very slow burner with him. I think He is show the coolest thing about Miro compared to when he was in Rusev in WWE. I think he's showcasing far more personality and he's talking more on the mic, which he's great on the mic. He's better on the mic than Kip Sabian. I'm sorry, but he's better than Kip Sabian on the mic. And English is in his own is not even first, and he speaks English absolutely fine. WWE treats him as like some sort of like foreigner that tries not to speak English. Like, I mean, he did speak English, it was so dumb.
Well, they treat people from the south of America the same. Like Brody Lee, rest in peace. He's from New York, and he was when he got like the dirty Southerner cult gimmick. He's very eloquent, and he wasn't given any promo time at WWE.
Exactly. And look at him in promos.
Oh yeah, Matt, that guy was intense. He was really, really genuinely intense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who have you got for this? Do you think it's because the only thing I could think of is like they don't. Miro probably wants to be on the winning. Should be on the winning team for his first pay-per-view event. But then I'm thinking Kip's. I'm thinking sadly our boy Kip is probably eating the pin here.
I think that I actually feel that I honestly think that Miro and Kip's going to win. The reason why I say that is because I think if Orange Cassidy and Chucky T, if they lose, then I don't think it's as bad as Miro losing, because Miro, despite him being prominent in AEW, the fire has not been lit yet, and they need to light the fire somewhere.
And he hasn't really done many matches, has he, since he's been with them?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be perfectly honest, like, there's the way that AEW works is even AEW Dark, and so like there's a lot of wrestlers that's on like rotation, but it's keeping the product fresh as a result. But I agree with you. There's not. I think they're using Miro quite sparingly, but I think, to be fair, I think the storyline dictates it. To be fair.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think probably, the tag team battle royal. We're both along similar lines for who could probably win it, but this is the first disagreement on here. But maybe for the spice levels, there might be more. Who knows? But next, we've got a match I'm personally looking forward to. It's the first of the matches that we've talked about that I'm properly excited for. The big money match between Big Money Matt Hardy and Hangman Adam Page. This is a fun match. It worked well with the gimmick. I've loved the setup. I've loved the characters. Matt Hardy, without the crowds broken, Matt Hardy was a bit flat, and Big Money Matt just makes sense. Matt Hardy's actually undefeated in AEW pay-per-views, but the favourite's got to be Adam Page for me. But what are your thoughts?
It has to be Adam Page. Adam Page is undefeated in AEW this year.
Yes. And I think he needs it more, especially after, he lost in the first ever title match to Jericho, no shame in that. He lost to Kenny Omega in the final contender match on Full Gear. I think he needs a win. He needs a pick-me-up win. And I kind of, a sort of a reverse to got rich off GameStop stock and Bitcoin, Cameron Grimes on NXT. I want a broke as shit Big Money Matt Hardy. I want that's comedy gold. It's hilarious. The stipulation's funnier if Matt Hardy loses as well.
Oh, 100%. Big money, yeah. No money Matt. Absolutely 100%.
No money Matt would be great. And Adam Page, he's obviously a future, long-term champ. Keep him strong. Matt Hardy's a legend. It just seems like a no-brainer to me, this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think what real benefit does Matt Hardy have in winning the match? I mean, because the thing is, we don't need any more sympathy for Hangman. Hangman is a bona fide face. And also, still in his 20s, and his only real defeats were against real high opposition. I mean, when he contested the first AEW title match between Jericho and Hangman, Hangman was not ready. Jericho, bona fide legend, right? Therefore, yeah, and I
that
just
was
feel
the first sort of big match in Hangman's career, whereas Jericho's wrestled like dozens of those matches, and that kind of makes sense contextually. That made sense contextually to do that, and also in terms of drawing eyes to the product, having Jericho as your first champion. So I wasn't overly angry, just a bit disappointed for Hangman when that happened, which I suppose was the desired effect.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was pretty straightforward. Next, we've got quite an exciting occurrence on the Face of the Revolution ladder match, essentially a Money in the Bank match, but not contract. Like, number one contenders match for a future AEW TNT Championship match. We've got former champion Cody. We've got Scorpio Sky. We've got one of my favourites, Penta El Zero Miedo.
Oh, Pentagon, what a guy, yeah.
What a guy. You've met him, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, I've met Pentagon. What a guy. He's exceptional. Seen him wrestle in the flesh. Exceptional wrestler.
Yeah. Lance Archer, really, really solid. Love Lance. He's been great, especially this half of the year. Last few months, he's been banging it for me. Max Caster and A Person. I think it might be Sammy Guevara.
Max Caster is growing on me, man.
Yeah, I used to be really irritated by the Acclaimed, and not in the good way, but especially his line about "I'll light you up like Lady Gaga's dog walker." Yeah, he's definitely growing on me too. But yeah,
exactly.
And do you have any idea who the final person is going to be? I think it might be Sammy Guevara, but what do you think?
Sammy Guevara would be good, but the question is, who's going to win? This is going to be hard because we're going to know it's definitely going to be against Darby Allin, because Darby Allin's title's not on the line. So it's going to be very, very interesting. To be honest, anyone except Max Caster has a chance, in my opinion, has a realistic shot on winning. Max Caster was the most surprising, but out of all of them, he's perhaps the most heelish.
Yeah. I know Lance Archer was like a monster heel, and now it's just a monster. And Scorpio Sky was a bit cocky on commentary, but that's typical. And Cody can be a bit of a prick when he needs to be, but there's no other out and out heels in the match.
Yeah, and that's really interesting. So the thing is that I would want to see Pentagon win, because I don't think he's ever had a title match yet in AEW, and for someone of that talent, nah, fam. Even Ray Phoenix has got a title shot before.
I know. It's staggering to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I have personally gone for Scorpio Sky.
That is a good shout. Because
he's young, charismatic, sort of the exact sort of person who'd benefit from winning the title to legitimize himself. They've obviously given him this podcast, Wrestling with the Week, which they've been promoting a lot with Rooster Teeth. They're definitely trying to put him out there. And the TNT, as they've talked about, it's kind of the face of the company, the one who, you see them wrestle the matches on TV, on Dynamite more than the pay-per-views. And, weekly face that you want looking at and being kind of a brand ambassador. I mean, they've had Cody do it. He's very popular. Darby Allin, who does it, who's demographically very popular. Scorpio Sky's another one they're pushing hard, who's getting very popular. And there's a few more I can see winning it. Penta is kind of my dark horse, but I don't think they'll go. I don't think in my heart they'll go for him because they've been not booking him in Phoenix as strongly as I would prefer. And
they're booking. Well, I mean, they are booking. I mean, they are booking Ray Phoenix and Pac Strong. I think Pentagon's been away for a few weeks as well, which hasn't helped.
Yeah, he's been injured, I think, but he certainly needs I know they beat the Young Bucks in the Escalera de la Muerte match, but he needs a signature win, especially a signature singles win, and I think Lance Archer's definitely someone you can't overlook. He's an absolute beast, and obviously the to be announced is a lot of times people's favourite by default, but I just see it making sense for Scorpio to win for me.
Yeah, I think Scorpio's guy. Yeah, I think I'm down with that. And you know what? I honestly think that SCU, while they've been good, I think unfortunately, and I guess we'll see with the whole storyline with the SCU and the fact that Kazarian feels very pissed off with SCU because
they lose again.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope they give him a good retirement match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've not been as big a fan of SCU as other people. Like I thought I would have preferred for the Lucha Brothers to be the first champs, but that's probably because I'm such a massive fan of them.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like I got into their work at Lucha Underground. I thought if they booked them so strongly and they've just smashed the Young Bucks, it made sense to me. It made a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and I just don't think they're going to go back and put it on Cody again. I just think that'd be such a cop out.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, absolutely. So, what is the next match, Aaron?
Yeah, this one is the street fight between Team Taz and Darby Allin and Sting, and I want your thoughts on this. First, I just wanted to, before we went to your prediction, I think this storyline has kind of been a bit repetitive and flat. You have an interview with Sting. Team Taz come out and either attack or talk shit or, go sledging with Darby Allin, or Team Taz get interviewed and Sting and Darby attack them. And that's been rinse repeat from ever since Sting debuted, really. And there's been some great moments. I liked the clip of Sting driving the car and Darby still being in the body bag. And there's been, Darby coming off the zip line, which I think should have been on last week's rather than 2 weeks ago's Dynamite.
I think it was a great homage, though, because, back in the days of Sting coming from the rafters, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a great homage, but I just think it should have been done this Wednesday on this week's Dynamite, because I think it should have been the last thing you saw of the feud before Revolution. I think that just would have been a more powerful image, but that's just me being nitpicky. And it's interesting to see Sting back in the ring. AEW have certainly treated him better and with more respect than WWE ever did. I like Darby Allin a lot. Team Taz have kind of been booked a bit in meh for me. But who have you got and why?
Has to be, I think. I'm going to say this for this reason. I think Team Taz is going to win. And the reason is, my bold prediction, they're going to introduce a new member to Team Taz. I don't know who that's going to be, but that's my prediction. I think it's going to be Grace in a match, but yeah.
Yeah, could that member of Team Taz, and I've just trying to throw a spanner in the works, could that be a newly heel Scorpio Sky leaving SCU, cutting off the dead weight and embracing Team Taz, and then getting the belt off Darby? Or is that too much of a stretch?
Stretch, but possible.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. It's such a out there kind of thing that if it happens, I will just be annoying everyone I know who's a wrestling fan. Like, see, I told you, I'm a savant. But
that's quite the point. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I think that Alan and Sting, I just think they'll want Sting to win on the first pay-per-view, and I've just not been fully there with how the book team has. But the Wild Theory aside, that's just what I'm going for and why. But that one could kind of go either way, and I reckon it will be, a protected, very decent cinematic match, like you said. And moving on. After what has been a very, very enjoyable women's tournament, we have decided Rio Mizunami beating Nyla Rose in the final.
Mizunami, yes.
And
Excellent.
Hikaru Shida for the women's belt. Shida sort of kind of bizarrely maybe turning heel on Mizunami at the end. Did she turn heel? I don't know.
No, I think it's one of those where it's a very Joshy thing where they just punch each other like ha ha ha, kind of like a good honourable kind of thing. I don't think
sort of like a Shibata Ishii headbutting each other.
Yeah, Shibata Ishii headbutt. Yes, 100%.
So that's just because me being not very familiar with Joshi wrestling. So is that just a thing that happens?
I think it's one of those also kind of honor things as well. I think it would be a great match, and I think my honest feeling is that Mizunami flown all the way from Japan to America, and I honestly think that Hikaru Shida's reign is over. Give it to Rio Mizunami. She's been a legend in the game for so long. She deserves her big break.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Shida, for keeping the women's division during the pandemic era, but as one would say, it is time to go. Get out of the way. It's time.
That's fair enough. I just put Shida just due to familiarity, but that's a complete blind spot for me. I only really saw Mizunami against Sakazaki and the ones that are on Dynamite and the semi-finals, and I saw the final, obviously, but I just think Shida keeps it. I think Britt Baker is going to be the next women's champion. Just makes the most sense to me, but it'd be nice. And they do tend to shift the women's title a lot more than the men's. So this is one I'm not strong on, and I wouldn't be too surprised if Mizunami went over.
100%. And yeah, I'm just really excited, looking forward to it. But hey, what is the next match?
We've got the Young Bucks versus MJF and Chris Jericho representing the Inner Circle. This is one of the spicier matches for me. I just love
spice.
MJF.
Real spice.
Yeah. And this is a proper could go either way one. I could certainly see them putting the belts on MJF and Chris Jericho. You can never, fully rule out them shithousing it. But I've gone with the Young Bucks purely because I think the next champions will be Gallows and Anderson, the Good Brothers. I have a funny feeling.
Incredible. Yep.
Yeah, that double or nothing, I reckon.
Would it be incredible, or would it be too soon for Anderson and Gallows to cost Young Bucks the title?
I don't think it would be too soon because they've been hinting at it, and he's already attacked Don Callis. They were quite late in providing the assist, the run-in, and they've been hinting at this isn't. Sometimes when you break up with someone, you break up with for a reason. Sometimes it's worse the second time round. The band may not be back together. There's been trouble in paradise. That could happen. I could see, Inner Circle shithousing. I could see Good Brothers, costing the Young Bucks the match and then being like, oh, no, we didn't mean it. And then maybe Young Bucks go heelish again and Good Brothers are the babyface, or maybe Good Brothers and Don Callis are the heels in the situation. Which would make sense as well. I think there's loads of places they can go with it. I think the tag team division in AEW is the best in wrestling, and it's not even close.
100%. I mean, I mean, literally even the young tag teams look so impressive. But yeah, I honestly think, if you want to have the Santana and Ortiz idea to go through, then have Jericho and MJF to win the belts. Young Bucks can win back. I think, yes, Jericho and MJF to win. By hook or by crook, by whatever, it's going to happen.
Interesting. And the real winner, as always, is the fans.
Yeah, 100%. Looking forward to it. And I'm also feeling that MJF might take the body of the match because, as you know, I feel that Jericho is winding down because I think when it comes to Jericho, I think he needs the right opponent to get him a great match because obviously age has toiled him, man, because he's not the Chris Jericho of 20 years ago, but he's still great. He's still very, very good. He hasn't got the long standing of his wrestling style because he's naturally a high flyer / a very athletic type. He had to change to a ground and pound style wrestler. And I think his star quality has diminished a little because like wrestlers like Daniel Bryan, especially, he just gets better and better. But Jericho, I don't think he'll do. I think MJF will have the body of the match from that team.
Yeah, I'd say so. I just think, obviously, Jericho can still have an amazing match with like a Naito or an Okada or an Omega or a Moxley, but mainly he's in like gimmick, like tag matches now, or the Stadium Stampede, or he's in kind of a heavily gimmicky match like the Mimosa Mayhem match. Mimosa Mayhem, was it?
Yeah, Mimosa Mayhem, yeah.
Which was great with Orange Cassidy, and that's. Jericho's still great in specific contexts, but he's not going to have amazing, he's not going to be the workhorse of the division. He needs to wind down now, and that's just the case.
Yeah.
He also needs to stop donating to Trump, but that's another matter.
Well, so I think nothing really to donate anymore, is there?
Yeah, exactly. So problem solved, but still, dick move. Anyway. We've got more important things to discuss than that. We've got the exploding barbed wire death match.
Yes.
What the fuck is this match going to be like? Kenny Omega.
Oh my god, that promo! Did you see this week's Dynamite where they got I forgot his name, but the 1993 All Japan wrestler, I forgot his name, like literally talking about it. It's like, oh my god, they've actually brought him in to talk about it.
Yeah. And they got the footage, and those matches look horrifying, and it's kind of like a perfect. It's the perfect summit for this feud, isn't it? It's the perfect way to end it. Something just so fucking mental and horrifying.
Absolutely, and you know what? Yo, I'm telling you right now, for real, right? Do you know the interesting thing about the exploding barbed wire death match? This was actually Kenny Omega's idea, not Jon Moxley, because Moxley has done way more death matches in CZW back in the day. But yeah, hell yeah.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I am very hyped for this. Who have you got for it, though?
I think, right, here's the thing. I think it's going to be Omega. I think this is Moxley's way of having time off because I think Renee, his wife, is going to be due in a few months. So I think it's going to be perfect time for him to not wrestle for a while. I think, he's going to die. This is going to be the most brutal match ever. I'm going to watch this live. I can't wait for it. I really can't wait. And you know what? And we didn't mention this yet, but with Paul White saying there's going to be a talent coming in this Sunday who's going to be Hall of Fame worthy. I am praying to the gods of wrestling. Please be Okada, please.
Cool.
It's unlikely, but please, if Okada shows up, this is the greatest year of wrestling history. Please.
That would be quite the occurrence. Let me just check the likelihood on that.
Yeah.
Well, he's still in the New Japan Cup, so I'm going to say probably not. But I think maybe
It could be a promo. It could be a promo thing.
Yeah, maybe. That's a fair point. But I think if someone's going to show up in person, it could be someone who's already out. It could be Tetsuya Naito. That would be great.
Oh my god! If it's oh my days, the Naito fanboys and fangirls and they're gonna be like elect. They're gonna be oh my god, you can dream. One thing to know that I forgot to mention earlier, when you said that John Silver's the man, do you think that Hangman's gonna eventually lead Dark Order, or do you think that the Hangman Page is destined to be alone?
I'd like him to join. I think that'd be nice, but I think he's going to be like a lone wolf. I think, but I don't know. I could see it working either way. I don't think they're going to have a kind of leader in a traditional sense officially, because obviously of Brody Lee. But if they had a figurehead again, it could work because Dark Order are now officially a face stable, especially Silver.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and yeah, that'd be pretty decent. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Omega's going to win. I think Moxley's going to have time off to spend with his wife and his baby, and then he's going to come back to live crowds when that's a thing. That properly
proper live crowds. I mean, AEW has had crowds because of AEW's had crowds because it's an open air arena, and America is far more bullshit with pandemic than us. But
you know what I mean, like a full massive stadium with no restrictions.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and it's going to be mental. But yeah, that's pretty straightforward. We've smashed it out in under an hour, which is way shorter than I usually do these. So you're welcome, everyone. But
thank you.
DrayZera
I was just going to say
at the moment.
Sorry. One quick note to ask. My question is to you. I'll answer it too. Which do you think will be match of the night?
Match of the night, yeah. Sorry for interrupting you there. I was
trying
to help. Trying to plug you with some stuff, but
plug it.
Yeah, I think that the match of the night for me is probably going to be the Exploding Barbed Wire Death match. There's going to be other great matches or fun matches, but I just think that's the full spectacle. It's going to be, bar anything going horribly wrong. I don't think I can't see past it for me. But what about you?
Death match. It would be 6 stars. Break the scale.
Meltzer will just crack and give it like 25 stars, won't he? He'll develop
if you're listening, don't do that.
Yeah, he should have never gone past 5 stars. I don't know why he did.
Let him do his thing. He broke the scale, but hey ho.
Fair enough. He made the scale and he broke it. Fair play to him.
Yeah, man. So, right. Is it time for plug?
Yeah. What have you got going on? What do you want to plug?
I'm gonna tell you right now. So every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. UK time, we have got the DrayZera Uncensored podcast with special guests every week alongside my co-host Jackie Hyde, professional wrestler, and singer-songwriter Dan Pettit. We have now got a recently new feature called TND, Tuesday Night Zero, not to confuse with TNT, where on Instagram and Facebook there will be a live performance, a live show performance, not live, but a pre-recording of a live performance, usually in the Zoom era, because that's all that we can fucking do at the moment as a recording. And yeah, every Wednesday in the main channel, DrayZera main channel, live performance and poetry, maybe a music video, who knows? Every Wednesday at 5 p.m. UK time, 9 a.m. Pacific. Friday, I have got the second channel, which is basically DrayZera Unmasked, where my unmasked version just does random shit like cooking stuff and random Pokemon box openings or whatever, just random shit happening. And yeah. Don't forget also my book Broken Circle Ball is still available, so get it while it's hot at DrayZera.net, sign copy, and if you want to do anything, follow me on the socials, or you could donate a coffee to me at ko-fi.com/DrayZera. And I think I plugged enough.
That was a very efficient plug. Well done, mate.
Thanks, man. But yeah, hopefully in the future when this pandemic is over, we could do a live in-person Hootenanny. Like, I know geographically we don't live far, but the pandemic has been limiting all of us, to be honest.
Yeah, we can definitely do some less limited stuff. We shall see what's swanning.
100%, man, 100%.
But yeah, this has been WrestleCast with Aaron Hood and DrayZera. Catch you on the flippity flop.
In a bit.